This video will walk us through how to search for FHIR resources and introduce search parameter types to be used when searching for FHIR resources. We will follow John, a developer at a local hospital that uses InterSystems IRIS for Health to store patient records. Last month, he took an introductory course in FHIR, so he has some knowledge of how to retrieve and store patient data using FHIR. Recently, he has been given the task of organizing patients based on hometown. Therefore, he has to know how to search for FHIR resources. Searching in FHIR means selecting or retrieving resources that satisfy a set of filter conditions. Because of this, most search requests use the GET method, which will place a question mark symbol at the end of the request to specify the conditions. There are several types of parameters John will need to understand in order to perform searching for FHIR resources. We will start with the simplest parameter type, the standard parameter, which only contains one condition to search. For example, John needs to search for all patients with the last name Carter. To do this, he will need to specify the condition as family equals Carter. Click Send. As you can see, the results are from a patient with the last name of Carter. He can also combine multiple conditions in his search by using the AND or ampersand syntax. For example, adding AND gender equals male to the search parameters returns only male patients with the last name Carter. If he only needs one of the conditions to be true, an OR condition, he should use a comma delimiter instead. In that case, his search will find the patient with the last name of either Carter or Jones. Note that the OR condition only works within the same parameter. In other words, you cannot search for people with the last name Carter or a gender of male. Satisfied with what he can search for, John now wonders what to do if he does not know the exact value to put in the condition field for searching. There are two options available for him in that case, Modifier and Comparator. If the value to be filtered in the search is a string, he can use a modifier. For example, he could filter only records with the last name that contains JO by using the modifier contains. As you can see here, this search result contains data for both patients with Jones and Johnson for last names. On the other hand, if the value to be filtered is either a number or date, using a comparator, such as greater than or less than, is the solution. For example, John can find all patients born after 2000 by adding the comparator greater than. Perform the search again, and now only the patients born after 2000 appear on the list. Last but not least, John needs to know how to handle errors during the search process. When a search fails, the server will return operation outcome. This is because the search parameter might have an incorrect format, refer to a non-existent resource, or use an illegal modifier. It is important to note that an empty search result is not an error. John finds his new ability to search for FHIR resources stored in InterSystems IRIS for Health very helpful for his work, such as organizing patients based on their hometown or finding patients based on their date of birth. We have just learned how to search for the FHIR resources we need with IRIS for Health. By understanding the advantages of each search parameter type, such as standard parameter, combined parameters, use of modifiers and comparators, we are able to choose the most appropriate one for our circumstances when searching for FHIR resources. Go to the FHIR resource list to see the list of parameters, or read documentation to see which modifiers are supported in InterSystems IRIS for Health.